I've been restoring and upgrading this Volvo V70R that I picked up for just 1,500 bucks. I brought this thing home on the back of a tow truck and have since taken care of a ton of maintenance, some quirky Volvo issues, and I've even replaced the entire turbocharger system. Throughout this process, I've been filming this car and staring at this front bumper with some awful condition paint. It's peeling off, the Bondo underneath is showing, the thing is barely hanging on, and did I mention that the fender has a giant dent in it? Today it's time to fix all of that, and we're gonna do it on the cheap for just $200. Today's pretty exciting because after weeks and weeks of looking at junkyards online, a Volvo has finally popped up that is in the correct color code for my V70R, and I can go grab a fender and potentially a bumper and hood for my car. We'll see what the condition is like of the parts when we get to this junkyard, but I'm so excited because my V70R's paint is just really bad right now, and it kind of ruins the car visually. So even if I get a bumper that's not an R bumper, a T5 bumper maybe, which looks quite cool actually, I think it could be pretty sweet for the car. This junkyard is about an hour away from my house, but an hour away is certainly a whole lot easier than going to a paint shop and paying them to respray all the parts. So we'll see how this thing looks when we get there. I'll bring you along, and we might have a pretty big visual transformation on our hands here for the V70R for not that much money, which would be fantastic. Right now I'm in the daily driver, which is the white V70. She still drives beautiful. Idle's a little funny, but as far as daily driving goes, hauling a bunch of stuff and good gas mileage, this thing is fantastic. This thing is actually clean. I might take this whole front bumper and definitely taking this fender. I was debating taking the hood, but somebody keyed the shit out of it right here. Super unfortunate because the hood is actually so clean. Fuck. There it is, fender and bumper. Super stoked. I am so stoked because for about 200 bucks at the junkyard, I picked up a new front bumper and a new passenger fender, which are two of the ugliest parts that are on this car right now. They really ruin the front end of it. It's kind of annoying to look at, especially when I'm editing videos of this thing all day long, and I'm just constantly looking at that ugly front bumper that desperately needs paint. For 200 bucks, I think what we got at the junkyard is a fantastic temporary solution. Now I know what some of you are thinking. This bumper is obviously not a real R front bumper. This is called a T5 style front bumper. It came on the model that was just below the R, still kind of a somewhat quicker model, somewhat higher power. I think although it's different, it still looks fantastic, and most importantly, the paint on it is in much nicer condition. It's got this nice front lip on the bottom, and the fact that these are in the correct paint code 426, I think it's called Silver Mystic Metallic, something like that, is just gonna be fantastic, because to get a new front bumper for this car is about $900, and to have it resprayed is probably another $400 if you want it done properly. There is also the option of refinishing this one, but it is just in a really sad state. Like the paint just chips off. Look at that. This thing has been absolutely caked on with Bondo. It's not even evenly done to any extent. And so refinishing this one would take a ton of work, and I'm not experienced enough to paint a front bumper like this. And the new fender looks beautiful. There's a small ding right here, but that could be PDR'd out, and it's certainly a lot nicer than what we have here right now, which is a pretty sad looking fender. Now I can always get an R bumper down the road, but I don't want to invest like $1,200 into a front bumper right now. I'd rather spend my money on parts for the manual swap, which is going to be pretty expensive. So I think for $200, this is a fantastic, maybe temporary solution. I don't know, we'll see how it looks. So with that being said, let's start disassembling the old bumper and fender off the car and put the new ones on. There you go, folks. It really didn't take much. Was held on by hopes and dreams. God, ew. Ew. Oh, it's like a puddle in here. No, it's so gross. Ew, it stinks too. This is just disgusting. Ugh. These should be the last two. Oh, it's this guy. This guy was tricking me. Is that it? Yay! So stoked that this is off. One thing I love about the new fender is that instead of this ugly side marker that's pretty much broken on every Volvo, we've got just a nice little block off plate. I should give this thing a bit of a clean actually. It's kind of dirty. Annoyingly, the ugliest part of this bumper is where the sticker was from the scrapyard. They use such strong adhesive there, so I'll have to clean that off. The rest of the fender looks pretty mint, especially compared to that. Since we're not replacing the driver's side fender because it's in good condition, I do want this to match the other side. So I did pick up this guy right here, which should just go like that. I had to remove a headlight, and I know this is going to be controversial, but unfortunately, my little windshield wiper module here has got to go bye-bye because mainly this part here will not fit through my new bumper. Here on the R, you've got cutouts for those wipers to come through, but here on the T5 bumper, there is no cutout. And mine never actually worked. They're kind of a pain. They are unfortunately gonna go. Look at how many wires and sensors there are just for this headlight system. Like, this is all for the sprayers, and I don't even know what, and this is for this motor here. Like, this all just feels a little unnecessary. Look at all this. 1, 2, 3, 4 connectors for one headlight. We've got 4 different connectors. Like, why do we need all this? You would think with all these connectors, you'd at least have decent high beams, but no. This is for little washers and things, not functional high beams. Well, folks, big problems here. I'm trying to fit up this bumper and it's not even coming close to fitting. I can't really wrap my head around what the problem is because internally, everything looks extremely similar, but in reality, there's just a huge gap here. Like, this is how far apart the fitment is of the bumper right now. Like, I don't know exactly what it is, but I can't get this bumper to fit all the way forward, which is clearly a problem. I'm not even sure what exactly it's hitting on. It's clearly something right here because I can't push this in anymore. So let's take this back off and compare it to our R bumper. There's clearly a difference in the style of the inner trim here, but as far as I can tell, it should fit up. I'm gonna keep messing around with this, see if I can't figure out how to make it fit. I think I need to do the fender first.
One of the main issues that I was having was that the T5 bumper came off a 2007 car, whereas mine is a 2005 car, and I believe they made some changes to the crash support bar between those years, and that means that I have to trim the T5 bumper to fit the larger crash support bar that exists on my V70R. It just meant removing some of the foam, trimming some of the plastic, but in the end, you shouldn't be able to tell that anything was modified when it's on the car.
Here's where I'm at with the bumper. It's kind of mounted up, but last night I was going crazy around my garage looking for the plastic support bracket that's supposed to go on the driver's side of the car. It's this thing here, except this is the one that came off the car. I'm talking about the new one that I bought at the Junkyard that matches this style of bumper, which is slightly different. And as I was going crazy around here looking for it, I looked back through my footage. I think I left it on the roof of my car at the Junkyard and then drove off. So that piece is sitting somewhere in Riverside, California, and there's no way I'm getting it back. So I'm gonna have to go to another Junkyard to get another bumper support bracket. Folks, this is it right here. Final bumper fitment test. Let's see if I can get it to sit. Come on, baby.
I think the bumper looks absolutely fantastic on the car, and it's also so nice not seeing a giant dent in my fender anymore. But while this project was moving along swiftly, I decided why not also try a new set of wheels and tires on the car. So I grabbed the wheels from the crashed S60R and ordered a single replacement for the wheel that was bent in the crash, and at a tire shop I mounted on some new Firestone Firehawk Indy 500 tires, which are super grippy and they look fantastic. One thing that was hilarious about this experience was doing this in a Volvo. The tire shop guy asked me, "Why did you buy these tires? Do you know that these don't last very long?" He was so confused why in the world you would put a performance tire like this on a Volvo. That's besides the point. When I got to the garage, I made another huge mistake with my wheel fitment, and I realized that the one wheel that I ordered to replace the bent one from the crashed car was the wrong bolt pattern. I ordered the wrong bolt pattern. Unbelievable. Clearly, this series has shown my inexperience with wheel and tire fitment, and I once again took an L. So I went to another tire shop and had the tires transferred over to my BBS wheels, which I still think look absolutely fantastic. The car now looks beautiful. The front bumper and fender made a huge difference, and this thing actually looks kind of clean now. We took the car up to a meet in Angeles Crest, which I posted a public little cruise invite for, and we had a ton of fun up there seeing some other people's project cars. We got a ride in Jan's 3 Series BMW wagon, which was fully M3 swapped, and this thing was just absolutely fantastic.
The sound, dude.
It sounds so good. Let's fucking go, dude.
This thing is fantastic.
Oh my god.
Thank you to everybody who came out to say hello or go for a drive with us. It was a ton of fun, and I'm so stoked with how the V70R looks. In the next video, we are back to taking on massive projects with this car because I'm finally starting the manual swap, so look out for that. Please subscribe if you're not already. Thank you for watching. Peace.